Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Kathy. We are on part 10 of going through this book by Ray Comfort, Scientific Facts in the Bible. We're on the chapter, The Bible's 100% Accurate Prophecies. And I won't read it verbatim, but I'll just pick out the main points they talk about. And this chapter's a little longer, so this might be 2 videos. But make sure you check out the playlist. Like I said, this is part 10, so you can start at the beginning and go through. So let's dive in and see what it says. So it starts off the scriptures and fulfilled prophecies. So it says prophecies from the Old and New Testaments that have been fulfilled add credibility to the Bible. So the scriptures predicted the rise and fall of great empires like Greece and Rome, and that's in Daniel chapter 2, verses 39 and 40. And the Bible foretold the destruction of cities like Tyre and Sidon. That's in Isaiah 23. Okay, it says Tyre's demise is recorded by ancient historians who tell how Alexander the Great lay siege to the city for 7 months, and King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had failed in a 13-year attempt to capture the seacoast city and completely destroy its inhabitants. Okay, this goes into more detail. During the siege of 573 BC, much of the population of Tyre moved its new island home approximately half a mile from the land city. Here it remained surrounded by walls as high as 150 feet until judgment fell in 332 BC with the arrival of Alexander the Great. And it says, in the 7-month siege, he fulfilled the remainder of the prophecies, which is in Zechariah chapter 9, verse 4, and Ezekiel 26:12. So it says, he fulfilled the prophecies concerning the city at sea by completely destroying Tyre, killing 8,000 of its inhabitants and selling 30,000 of its population into slavery. Okay, so let's see. So the Bible predicted, it says, to reach the island, he scraped up the dust and rubble of the old land city of Tyre, just like the Bible predicted, and cast it into the sea, building a 200-foot wide causeway out to the island. That's crazy. All right. Here's another part. Alexander's death and the murder of his 2 sons were also foretold in the scripture. Another startling prophecy was Jesus's detailed prediction of Jerusalem's destruction and further spreading of the Jewish diaspora throughout the world, which is recorded in Luke 21. In AD 70, not only was Jerusalem destroyed by Titus, the future emperor of Rome, but another prediction of Jesus Christ in Matthew 24, verses 1 and 2, came to pass, which was a complete destruction of the temple of God. So there's so many, my gosh. All right, so the next little paragraph, let's see. Okay, so this says the Bible's prediction of the Middle East conflict. So we all know about that, and especially right now as I'm filming this, Iran and Israel went to war like 2 days ago. So, and that's all Bible prophecy, end times, all that stuff. So don't be stressed, anxious, worried about that. Like Jesus says, don't fret and I'm paraphrasing, these things are going to happen, but the end is not yet. So, yes, these things are all lining up, wars, rumors of wars, all that stuff. So it's interesting that that's happening right now. And this is talking about Bible prophecies that have already been fulfilled. Okay, so the Bible's prediction of the Middle East conflict. In the book of beginnings, Genesis chapter 16, verse 12, God said that Ishmael, the progenitor of the Arab race, and there's an article about him and that in the magazine Time from April 4th, 1988. So it says in Genesis that he would be, quote, a wild man, and every man's hand will be against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren, end quote. So almost 4,000 years later, who could deny that this prophecy is being fulfilled in the Arab race? The Arabs and the Jews are brethren, having Abraham as their ancestor. The whole Middle East conflict is caused by their dwelling together. And that could be a whole, 5-hour video just talking about all that. Okay, so the next little paragraph says the Bible's messianic prophecies. And there's a whole bunch of those. And this won't go through all of them, but this is just a handful. So in the book of Daniel, the Bible prophesies the coming of the one and only Jewish Messiah prior to the temple's demise, which happened. The Old Testament prophets declared he would be born in Bethlehem. That was in Micah 5:2. Born of a virgin, that's in Isaiah 7:14. Be betrayed for 30 pieces of silver. That was in Zechariah chapter 11, verses 12 and 13. He would die by crucifixion. That's in Psalm 22. He would be buried in a rich man's tomb. That's Isaiah 53:9. And obviously, Jesus was the one person who fits all the messianic prophecies of the Old Testament, who lived before AD 70, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Mary. So, and that's only maybe 5. I think I can't remember how many. I did a whole playlist, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, if you want to check that out. I think it's Vlogmas 2024. And those are Bible verses just talking about Jesus's coming and in the Old Testament, and then how they were fulfilled in the New Testament. I will try to link that down below. Okay. So I might end this right now. Let me see. Maybe we'll do this last little bit. So this next paragraph, the Bible predicted the birth of a nation. So in Isaiah 66, verses 7 and 8, which was written in 700 BC, the prophet gives a strange prophecy. Quote, shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day, or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children, end quote. So in 1922, the League of Nations gave Great Britain the mandate, which is the political authority over Palestine. On May 14th, 1948, Britain withdrew her mandate, and the nation of Israel was, quote, born in a day. There are more than 25 Bible prophecies concerning Palestine that have been literally fulfilled. Probability estimations conclude that the chances of these being randomly fulfilled are less than 1 chance in 33 million. Okay. Well, thank you everyone for stopping by. Let me know what you think down below. I hope you guys, everyone's enjoying this series. So I will see y'all in the next video and hope everyone's doing well, and God bless.